Hello, everyone. It's wonderful to be here again. Yeah, let me confirm everybody can hear me first. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I audible? Everyone, can you hear me? Hello, hello. Can we hear me? Um, just drop on the chat box. Let me know if you're here. Okay. Oh, thank you so much, Samir. Thank you, Kenny. Okay, good, good. So yeah, how was our day? I hope you had a nice time today. I hope today was awesome. I hope it was, wonderful. Uh, okay, yeah, we can hear you. Thank you, thank you. All right. Yeah, I hope today was wonderful. I hope you had a nice time today. Yeah, I hope you had a nice time today. And I hope yesterday was worth our time. I hope we got enough value for time. Okay. So yes, like I said, we're going to be continuing today. Today is going to be on safety. All right. Our safety session is going to be divided into actually. So one is going to be today, and then the other one is going to be next week. All right. So today's just going to be general safety, and then next week we're going to go more in depth. And I have somebody else with me today who is going to be taking us. Um, he's a safety specialist and a very wonderful person, and he's going to be the one to anchor us today on safety and also next week also on safety. So I can assure us we're also going to have a nice time. We're going to have a very good time. So safety is very, very important, right? And that is why even before we really delve into the topic per se, we have to, learn it. Okay. A lot of people can walk, right? A lot of people can do jobs, right? But not a lot of people can work safely, right? And apart from the fact that you know how to do your job, right, you also must know how to work safely, right? Even if you get a contract of 1 billion naira and the 1 billion naira is going to end up killing you. I mean, what's the point? You have people who look up to you. You have family who are expecting that you come back safely, and all of that. So safety is very, very important. And I have an amazing person with me, which is who is going to be breaking down everything that we need to know regarding safety. And I can assure us we're going to have a very nice time. We're going to have a very nice time. So yeah, with me I have Ayomide. He's going to be coming on board shortly, and he's going to be presenting to us, what we have to whatever work you do, right? Whatever, even if you're not an electrical person, safety is everywhere, right? So it's not just for what we're trying to do, right? It's for day-to-day applications, right? Maybe you're trying to even fix your charger, you have to. Many of us don't know that when you're trying to plug something on, you have to put up these sockets, right? That's safety, right? It's as basic as that, all right? So I'm going to be, bringing him on board, right, shortly. Yeah, let me just find a way to communicate with him. Uh, Give me some few minutes, please. All right. Like I said yesterday, I did say that the classes are not going to be there's not going to be replay. You understand? One of the reasons why we have to ensure that is that people are serious with what we're doing here. Okay, so somebody just thinks that maybe they're going to have a replay and that kind of stuff. You'll get to see later. Yeah, I'll bring him on board now. Just give me some few seconds.
All right. Can everyone hear me? Hello. Um, Good afternoon. My bad. Good evening. The person about the solar, no, under solar installation. So, uh, like my colleague said, there's literally it's easy for everyone. For solar installation. Sorry. All right. Um, if you can, see my screen. I will- All right. Welcome back, everyone. We apologize, or I'd say I apologize for the. So we'll continue from where I left off. So, as I said earlier, my colleague has explained the basics. We explained what it can to explain how the safety is. Anyways, I'll continue from there. So, safety. When we talk about safety, what do we understand as safety? What me I understand as safety, or in our layman language, is that safety safety is like an act. Safety is like an act that we do that prevents us from harm or risk or danger. Basically, harm, risk, or danger. So, um, now, like you said, there's risk, or he said there's safety in our day-to-day activities, our day-to-day life. But what me, I wouldn't say I want to debunk what he said. More of like like to serve like as an additional information. There's instead of safety, there's risk our day-to-day activities or day-to-day life. So you waking up in the morning, you standing up on your feet, there's risk involved. Anything could happen. We've heard of several cases of where one would fall and just by standing up and they will fall or they will trip, they hit their head on something, just like that. So I mean, any action you perform, there's a certain level of risk involved in that kind of action. So I mean, it's interesting that because I wouldn't I just to like serve like an example. I'm not much of a religious person, but just to because, when God created this world, he created the perfect world. But what people don't understand, that even as the world is perfect, there are a lot of risks involved. I mean, this is something that we see almost every day. Um, let's talk about the war, accidents, stuff like that. And everything. So there are risks involved in everything we do. So, anyways, uh, on today's topic or on the program we're watching, this solar installation. Now, solar installation involves a lot of things actually, of various things. There's you, I mean, I'm talking about the actions, activities. You climbing the roof or the ceiling, trying to fix the solar panel. You involved in you dealing with wires, cable, stuff, or inverter, batteries, and all that. There are certain levels of risk involved with that kind of thing. So what we are talking about today is health and safety that will guide us, that will serve as a guidance, that will serve as a rule, so as to not involve in those accidents, be it the risk or be it dangerous occurrence. So, anyways, I will explain what dangerous occurrence is. Actually. So, and as you're looking at my screen or on my screen, you see mastering health and safety in solar installation. So, there are essential safety principles to protect technicians and ensure compliance while enhancing competence and project efficiency. So, even while protecting yourself, there are also compliance, there are safety compliance that you have to follow under the health and safety or under the HS. So now there's one thing that I do live by. I wouldn't call it a mantra, but something that I would normally think about before I involve myself in any actions. I would say the first thing that comes to my mind is safety first. And now I'm not thinking when I mean safety first, not safety of people around me, my own safety. And you would call me selfish, call me any means, I do not mind. But when I'm talking, because let's just say perhaps or peradventure if I'm involved in an accident, you get, and something does happen. Oh, let's just say, okay, for instance, just a group of, let's just a group of five people in the studio, and something bad happened, the building starts to collapse, or there's like an earthquake, and the building starts to collapse. Now, no matter how you love the person, I'm telling you that even if the person is your soulmate from heaven, that okay, God specifically told you that this person will marry the person. At that point, at that stage, you will not even think of the person. What will come to your mind is yourself. You are not Jesus. It's just like that person. That's what the said. No matter how much you want to love, no matter how selfless you say you are, your safety comes first. So imply we are bringing that principle into this solar installation course. If anything should happen, you will first take care of yourself first. Then okay, maybe if you have a colleague or you happy to you happy uh, my colleague or your partner or whatsoever, so, or your fellow technicians or your fellow engineers. So when you start thinking about them, your safety will come first. That is just my point. I hope you've done something. That is just it. So moving on, it's like the solar safety expert. I know that all two sections that you have to take. Which one, which one, guide us, guidelines, even safety signs, and also safety, also false safety treatment in case of any emergency. Right, so, all right, all right. So there's difference between hazard, risk, and danger in solar work. So yeah, we'll just clarify the difference. So, from hazard, it said hazard is any potential source of harm, such as live DC wiring or sleeping. So now we are talking for this case, or in this case rather, we are dealing with solar installation. Let's just say we are in another case or in another situation, we're talking about installation of machinery. The hazard would be different from this. You understand? So now in this solar installation work, this hazard are source of harm. So we have live DC, live direct current wiring or slippery roof. So imagine I would say in the way or in the act of you trying to install solar panel, you not knowing that the roof or the ceiling is slippery. And imagine just you just trying to balance or trying to place those panel on it. You can imagine that one might fall or slip and if you might imagine a three-story person, no more I doubt if anyone will survive that kind of fall. And so that is what hazard is. Then risk, what is risk? Risk measures the likelihood and severity of harm. For example, electrocution risk increases when working on faulty equipment in wet conditions. So risk is what measures the likelihood and severity of harm. You understand? So risk is all I say is like I wouldn't call it a tool, but more of like an apparatus that measures the likelihood and severity of harm. You understand? So then for you can see the example is electrocution risk increases when working on faulty equipment in wet conditions. Working imagine trying to install a solar panel or trying to work on an electric work on an electric while raining. You can see that the likelihood of you getting electrocuted is very very high. But I would say about like 100%. That is what risk is. Then danger. Danger means an immediate threat, sparking like a sparking cable that can ignite nearby materials. That is what danger is. So as you can see, danger means like the immediate threat, like a sparking cable. So imagine you. I mean, this is something that we must have experienced maybe once in our life. But I mean, so maybe let's say you trying to plug something into a socket or a wall socket, for example, and you start hearing spark or start hearing sound. And that voice is called what called danger. We also have different levels of danger. When the assignment goes on, we'll talk about we'll talk about the we'll talk about the levels of danger. Right. So then we'll have what we call the conducting we have what we call the conducting job hazard analysis. So conducting job hazard analysis identifies the rank risk to apply safety control effectively. So once you analyze the job, the hazard that is associated with your job, once you analyze the hazard that is associated with your job, you know the safety, the controls, the safety controls that you'd apply to that particular job. Is that right? Then you also have ignoring hazard risk. Okay, on the last slide, you see ignoring hazard risk, severe injuries, and fines up to $14,502 per OSHA violation. So OSHA is is an example of is a regulation of their body. Do you understand? So that is that regarding so moving on to the next slide. Right. So I just to clarify, please, can you hear me? Can anyone hear me? Am I audible enough? Am I audible enough? All right, all right. So on my screen you'd see master personal safety with essential PPE. So I mean you have various type of PPE. Or before I go on to we have various types of before I go on to the types of PPE we have. When you hear the word or see the word PPE, what comes to mind? It means personal protective equipment. As you can say, personal. They are meant for you and you alone. Personal protective equipment. So they are equipment. They are meant to guide and protect you. Understand? So as you can see, so you keep yourself with proven gears and habits to prevent injuries and fatalities. They are equipment that will prevent you from injuries and fatalities. So the as you can see, from if you look, the first I uh equipment that I have here is ANSI rated hard arts that protect against head impact on site. So now, let's just say, for instance, you are given a contract or a project to work on, maybe to install about 100 panels on the maybe on a particular site or whatsoever. Now, the building you are installing those solar panels on is let me see, is like let's just say an estate. It's on the let's just say I'm trying to think of a realistic figure. Let's say an estate with let's say a 10 household. I'm just saying for an example. So and inside that estate, you were given that contract to like install 100 project. You to install about like 100 solar panels. You understand? So now inside that or inside that estate or during the course of the project, you are not the only one working. So there are other maybe there are other projects going on. Maybe the bricklayer constructing the house or the engineer, the site engineer, the architect, and so on and so forth. Everybody's working and doing their own. You're also doing your the plumber, welder, the electrician, so on. And you get so now imagine now you that kind of site would be busy, like very, very busy. You understand? So in that kind of case, would move uh, they might try to like use crane to move things over your head. Although under health and safety rules, it's unacceptable to carry load, maybe a certain level of or a certain amount of load over a personnel or personnel or over personnel. You understand? But in some cases, if you cannot avoid it, then it is allowed. Then you build a safe system of work. Understand? So, but in some cases, it is not allowed. But let's say, for instance, while working inside that project or while working on that project, so you are not with your heart on, and they try at that point they carry something over your head, and maybe whatever they are carrying, be it sand, be it gravel, be it stones, now falls. What will protect you? You know, sometimes so that is where your hard art comes in. You understand? So As you can see, the ANSI rated are that protect against head impact on side. So I'm just using that for an example. You have different accidents that involves end injury, or when your heart's on. It could be maybe when they want to move something, or maybe I don't know. I mean, there are a lot of accidents. You could imagine a lot of accidents that involves head injury and all that. So that is regarding the first PPE, which is your hard hat. The second one is your UV protection safety glasses that shields eyes from harmful solar radiation. So I believe, okay, don't let me say I believe. Let me just say, the radiation that comes from the sun is solar radiations, and what UV means is ultraviolet. And so the glasses that you need to work or need to put on when working on solar installation is UV protection safety glasses that will shield your eyes from harmful solar radiation. Is that right? Then moving on, we also have the class zero electrical gloves that provides insulation for electrical safety. So for the class 00 electrical, so for the glove, so we have different grades of glove. You understand? There are ones that normal there are ones that welder use. There are ones that the plumber use. There are ones that normal mechanical engineering use. So this ones is meant specifically for people that are working for the electricity. Let me just say electrical engineering. Understand? So they are meant to provide insulation for electrical safety. You understand? So and we also have the full body harness that prevent fall injuries during rooftop work. So full body harness is something that will protect you. Imagine now in that kind of case. So let's just say you were told, or you were instructed, or you were given a contract, sorry, to install a solar panel on like 10-story building. I'm just saying, install a 10-story building. Now let's just say, and you might need to like climb. Once you've got it to the roof, you will need to install, or you need to put on the full body harness that will protect you from fall. You understand what I'm trying to say. So that is that for the full body harness. Then we also have the steel toe boots. So the steel toe boot, they protect feet from heavy tools and materials. So steel toe boots are a very hard boot that protects feet and heavy tools from and heavy tools and materials. That is that right? Then we also have what we call the high visibility vest. The high visibility vest enhance workers' visibility for accident prevention. So example of the high visibility vest is lemon and I think is it orange and orange, deep is this dark orange vest. Now even if someone is from afar, you would see that vest. You understand? So once you put on the vest, people walking nearby, you understand? Let's just say, for instance, if you are walking in the site, they would see you from afar. They will see you from afar. That okay, somebody is working on this particular rooftop, or somebody is working on this particular uh, uh, this particular building. You know, something to say. So then moving on, we have the arc flash suit. For the arc flash suit, they are required for high voltage electrical attacks to prevent burns. As you can see, these arc flash suits, they are required for high voltage electrical attacks to prevent burns. So they prevent burns. You know, what I'm trying to say. So they are suits that as a technician or as an engineer you should put on while working while working on a solar installation project, or while installing a solar panel. You understand? So you also have, then the next one is stay hydrated and avoid loose clothing. Okay, in this case, this is not a PPE or a guideline. So as a technician, you should always stay hydrated and avoid loose clothing to reduce heat stress and snag hazard. So by loose clothing, let's just say you were called to install a solar panel on your roof. You shouldn't wear dalamia, or you shouldn't wear is it sutana? Yeah, those loose clothing, you understand? And this is not. I'm not trying to say those clothes are not good or they are not good, but in that particular setting, it is not required for you to wear that kind, because anything could happen. Your clothes could your clothes could get hooked to some thing, and that could cause um hazard. You understand? Then the next one is always follow lookout and tag out procedure to safely isolate energy sources. So what lookout and tag out is what we call LOTO. Lotto is lockout and tag out. So lockout is the physical barrier that isolates energy. You understand what I'm trying to say? Why tag out is like tag. You understand? Like a tag that is added to that lockout, to that physical barrier that everyone would see. And so maybe as we go on, we'll explain better on what lockout and tag out is. So once the lockout is, let's say for example, in an hydraulic pump, I'm just using an hydraulic pump for example. In a hydraulic provider, we're told to like isolate the energy. Once you've switched it to you've switched up the valve, you lock up the valve and everything. You also make sure you lock the valve very well. You make sure that there is zero energy from that, or zero pressure rather, from that in that hydraulic pump. That maybe once anybody start to try to restart it would affect it, you understand, or it would re-energize. So only you, it's only the personnel, the appropriate personnel that lock the hydraulic pump will also be the one to re-energize it or reopen it back. You understand? So that is that for the lockout and tagout. Then moving on, the next one is failure to use PPE. Okay. Failure to use PPE causes 40% of construction accidents, including burns, eye injuries, and fatalities. As failure to use PPE, this is even statistically proven that worldwide, that failure to people that fail to use definitely have accident. It might be minor, you understand, but once you have accident, that means you know that you've neglected the usage of PPE. Sometimes that is that. Then regular PPE inspection, trainings, and body checks ensure maximum protection. So you make sure that the PPE you put on is not faulty or is not worn out. It might be the vest, it might be the helmet. Now, there's one thing. Okay. The once you know that this what do you call it, the helmets or the gloves that we use, most of these things they have expiring date. So you make sure that okay, what you are using has not expired. So, and we know once something has expired, they lose their effectiveness or their value. They don't they don't work as they should, or they will stop working as they should. And so make sure that your PP is effective and you go for inspection or and also go for training too. Because you might think you know it. Maybe you have about like 20 years experience in this field, and which nobody is disputing that. You already know the thorough, even to the mind, even to the last degree. But there are times whereby maybe they've released or they've produced new technologies, new equipment, or new tools and all that, and you are not familiar with it. That's when you need to go for training and see how this thing works. You understand? So that's right. Training is also important. So, and body checks is make sure whenever you are going on trying to install a solar panel or going for a solar installation contract or a solar installation work, you make sure you bring someone along with you. Might be a technician, it might be your apprentice. So someone that would serve like if there's any emergency, someone that will try to rescue you out, or if you need assistant, someone that will assist you. But in this case, if eventually there's any emergency, someone that will try to rescue you. You understand that kind of thing. So it's very, very necessary. So these things they, ensure maximum protection. Is that right? So um okay. And I maybe at the end of this slide, or before I end this today's session, I'll try and look for pictures or videos that would also aid us in this training program or training session. So now there's something we call working at height safely. So it necessarily might not even be solar installation. It could be I don't know. It could be building construction. You don't know where you don't know where you would find yourself, or you know where you could find yourself in the next 2 years, a year, in some places, or even 6 months. So you might find yourself in another field that is totally different from solar installation and that involves working at height. It might be maybe you trying to maybe it could be involve you could involve welding, involve some engineering project that involves you working at height. And by working at height, it means working above the ground level. It could be just one one story building. or two-story building, but anything that involves working above the ground level. Understand? So when we're talking about, you say working at height prevent okay, working at height safely prevent falls in solar job sites with OSHA compliant equipment and procedures. So the first one is, if you look at it, falls cause about 30% of fatalities in solar jobs, mainly on rooftops or trackers, as you can see. So and then so that 30% of fatalities in solar jobs involves falls. As you can see, that is because they refuse. Is that they neglected their PPE, which is the maybe either safety harness that would prevent them from falling at height. You understand? Or they use inappropriate equipment or the inappropriate PPE in that case, as you can see. Then also, OSHA requires fall protection above 6 feet, as you can see under OSHA, and OSHA means Occupational Safety Hazard Act. It requires fall protection above 6 feet. So if it is above 6 feet like this, there has to be a protection that if peradventure, if anyone falls, they will land on. It could be mat. I'm not saying it could be anything that would make them, even if they try, even if they fall, they would not sustain critical injuries. You understand? So and they also and part of the fall protection is also using their safety harness and their their PPE too. You understand? So then third one is use collective safeguards like guardrails and personal fall arrest system. So the personal fall arrest system means full body harness, shock absorbing lanyard, and secure 5,000 all be rated anchors, as you can see. So all these are personal fall arrest system, PFAS. So these things are what will protect you in case somebody falls or in case they fall. Understand? So the shock absorbing lanyard is in case the person falls from that, what would absorb the shock, you understand, or what would reduce the impact of the fall. And we also have the guardrails. So guardrails are what would guard you, like be like a guard when you're on the roof, you know, some trying to say. So that is that. Then we also inspect ladder daily. So now as your job or as one working on solar installation, you will use ladder a lot because you are trying to install solar panels on the roof. And so you will need ladder a lot, either ladder or something that will take you to the roof. You'll make sure that the ladder, your personal ladder, or even the ladder that you, because I know most of us, or most of the solar installator technicians, they don't necessarily have their own ladder. I mean, the normal ones, maybe a one-man job or two-man job. Most of them, they normally they try to like borrow ladder from the nearby or from the surroundings of the society or whatsoever. Understand? So make sure the ladder you are borrowing make sure the ladder you are borrowing is safe. You know, so I'm trying to say, you make sure the ladder you're borrowing is safe, or the steps of the ladder. One part is not faulty because you might think try to make sure that the ladder you're using is not faulty or the steps of the ladder is not faulty. Try to confirm them yourself because they'll just give it to you. The people that borrow the ladder, they're trying to make their own money, so they will not take it for you. It is your duty as a technician to check these things, to inspect them daily. Set at a 4 ratio 1 angle and secure them firmly. So there's an angle where you need to there's an angle where you need to set them. So you would set them on a 4:1, like probably an angle 45 degree. So make sure that it is firm. So you place them because you just don't set it. Now I'm not telling you to bring compass or bring protractor and start measuring angle 45 degree. But there's how for the angle 45 degree your right angle triangle looks like. So you make sure those that you make sure you set your ladder at that particular angle. Then you stop elevated work during wind exceeding 20 meter per hour to reduce risk. So in some cases, maybe while installing the solar panel on the roof, and suddenly there's wind. There are times whereby you cannot even when there's like wind, there's weather prediction. Sometimes these things are not 100% accurate. So you might think, okay, maybe rain would not fall today, or this today it will not be windy, and suddenly there's like dark dark and gray clouds all over, and the wind starts to to blow. Now, one of the tools that you should use as a solar installation is this wind gauge, this portable wind gauge, where you can use to determine the wind, the speed, or the speed of the wind, or the amount of wind that is blowing in that particular area. You understand? So once it has exceed 20 meter per hour, you stop, or in fact you just suspend it, and maybe as time goes on, you try to measure it again. Once you measure it and you can see that okay, it falls under 20 meter per hour, then you can continue. Is that right? So you also now next one is you conduct regular rescue drills. And by conduct regular rescue drills, you establish a clearly marked no-go zone near edges. So rescue drills, when you're talking about drills, we have different types of drills. We have fire drills, we have emergency drills, or emergency procedure drills, and all that. So rescue drills is that it's something that is like an art. Okay, I wouldn't say it's like an art. It's an art whereby you train in case this thing happens or in real life, or in case this thing happens while working normally or while operating normally. So now this, for an example, fire drills is that maybe uh, in a factory here. So in the factory, while working, or okay, in the factory that let me for example, I know a perfect example in the production factory where maybe they produce anything, or produce anything that involves or they deal with anything, any machine that involves high energy power. You understand? So and all that involves a lot of energy. You understand what I'm trying to say? So in that kind of case, you know that fire would be one of the hazard, or will be one of the hazard or dangers that they will encounter from time to time. You understand? So in that kind of case, that it is duty of the of the of the employer to make sure that you conduct regular fire drill. And by fire drill, you inform all the staff that okay, you want to conduct, you inform these specific tasks, on some particular stuff that this is what you want to do. So you need to make sure by that you need to make sure that other people, or you need to make sure that your employee knows what knows what to do if there's fire. That is just the importance, or the importance of these drills. So by that you can just set the fire alarm. You necessarily don't need to start any fire. You just set the fire alarm and see if your employee knows what to do, knows where to go, or knows the normal regular emergency procedure to do in that situation. So once you start that drill, you'll be like you will definitely watch and see. So if they neglect it, you know that these people have forgotten what to do, or if they do the wrong thing, then you will try to like train them again on what to do. That is just what it is. And for fire drills, once there's like fire, it is in fact it is mandatory for all the staff to leave what they are doing, and go to the assembly, which is the assembly. We call it the assembly, not less assembly ground, emergency assembly, where everyone goes to if there's fire. It's always outside in the open air, you understand, away from the facility, or away from the building. So in this case, we are talking about the rescue drill. So rescue drill is that okay, if there's any emergency, how you rescue your personnel, or how you rescue yourself, you understand, or how you rescue your partner, your fellow technician, you know, something. So that is that. And you also establish the clearly marked no-go zone. So you'll be working on the roof. Why? I mean 60% of your work involves you trying to install solar panel on the roof. So once you've installed the panel on the roof, then you can start working on the orders, maybe by installing the inverter battery, uh, the battery, and everything. You know. So they are what we call the no-go zone. So the no-go zones are zones that are the edges of the roof. You understand? You don't go there at all, because those are the weakest part of the roof. And in fact, any small thing like this, you just trip, and someone will trip, and someone will fall. You understand? to make sure that you clearly mark with red, that red marker or red the logo. So just to demarcate that area that okay, nobody should go to this side. Nobody should reach this side out of something. So that is that regarding logo zone near edges. So no, okay, now you master. Okay, this slide what we're talking about master safe lifting to prevent injuries. So there are essential techniques that is weight limits and ergonomic tips for handling solar panel for handling solar panels. So as you can see, you assess the load size, weight, and grip before lifting every item. So you are transporting or you are bringing the solar panel from the you are bringing the solar panel from the they are bringing the solar panel from the ground floor to the roof. So, like I said, it could be it could be two floor, it could be a two-story building, it could be a three-story building or something. But as far as you are bringing that thing from the ground floor, it's not like they use helicopter to transport it. It's not like they use helicopter to transport it from maybe from the sky down to it. They're bringing it from the ground. So you know that you need to access the load. To determine you try to calculate the load of the solar panel, the weight, the load size, the weight, and the grip before lifting every item. So naturally, under health and safety, is it is I wouldn't say okay. I'm looking for the right word to use. Um, it is prohibited for any technician to carry load that is more than 20 kg. I don't want to know, or I wouldn't say I in this case. Health and safety doesn't want to know if you are you used to you used to go to gym or you used to carry 50 kg at the gym. You used to carry 120 kg. You used to bench press 100 kg at the gym. You don't want to know because in some cases, let's just say you want to carry solar panel that is that weighs about like 80 kg. I'm just saying that weighs 80 kg. Now, in that case, you will not be the one to carry it. In that case, you because you are definitely bridging, you definitely have a partner, and you don't know the amount of weight that partner could carry. So in that kind of case, you would know it is mandatory or it is prohibited for to carry a load manually. Now in this case, I said manually that is above 20 kg. Is there look for someone to assist you? Because you might think, okay, before, in the gym, I used to carry 80 kg very, very well. I used to carry 100 kg very, very well. So, like, let me just carry this thing by myself. Anything could happen. And that's the thing, let me see, that's how tedious this job is, or this is how tedious or dangerous this work is. Because any slight thing or any slight mistake, and one could lose his or her life because you don't know what could happen, or you don't know what might transpire or what the issue is. Or just let's say, why carrying why carrying the solar panel? There's just a sudden gust of wind that just sway your hand, and maybe just you're on the ladder already. The weight could just push you back, and that's how one would fall, and uh, once you would sustain critical injury, either head injury or rib or whatsoever it is called, something that kind of thing. So you don't you don't carry more than 20 kg manually. So that is the regulation, or that is the rule under health and safety. Then you use proper technique. You bend your knees, you keep your back straight, and hold object close. Then you also avoid twisting too. So, these are things that they will teach you. Even if for people that go to the gym, you bend your knee, you keep your back straight, and you hold that object close. So that is the proper technique. Then solo lifting must not exceed 50 pounds. So, and although here in Nigeria it is 20 kg, and by solo lifting that means only you carrying it. So you don't lift something that exceed 20 kg. And also you use steam lift or mechanical aids for heavier lift for heavier loads. I just explained it. So you call someone to assist you, or use slings and shackles or ropes. Yeah, slings and shackles and chain to lift heavier load. then utilize ergonomic training and warm up stretches to reduce pain. That is why. So what this literally means that before you embark on any solar installation, you do ergonomic training. That is, you warm up, you stretch, so that to make sure you release all those muscle tension from your body, and make sure that okay, maybe there's not any muscle stiffness, any sort of. While working, anything could happen, like I said. So then plan workflow to minimize carrying distance, and install anti-fatigue mat and on hard surface. So you make sure you plan. That is why um, before you embark on any operation, there's what we call proper planning. So by planning by planning your work, you calculate the distance you carry. So is either you use car, you use a machine or vehicle. Sorry, like I said, you use vehicle to carry the vehicle to carry you either use a vehicle that will cover all of the distance. You understand? Or you um you either use a vehicle to carry all of the distance. So sorry, I'm coming. You use the vehicle to carry most of the distance, then you use a manual able to lift the rest. Is that right? So that is that for that. And you install anti-fatigue mat on out surface too. So you make sure you install anti-fatigue mat on out surface. So um, ladies and gentlemen, hope I'll be ending this session. Um, okay. So maybe next week we'll continue from where I stop, and I'll explain better. I will also show us pictures, diagrams, and also videos. I will also aid in this learning process and learning session. So thank you very much. My name is Ayomide. Yeah, that will be all for now. Thank you. And bye.
Oh, wow, 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 wow. Thank you so much for that amazing session. I mean, we practically learned from that session, and it was a wonderful time. I hope we were able to relate with everything that has been said, right, concerning safety and all of the measures that we have to put in place. All right. So before it goes away quickly, does anybody have any question? If you have any question, kindly drop it to the WhatsApp chat before we round up completely. So tomorrow, which is going to be day three, we're going to be continuing with the solar. So we're going to be starting properly with the solar design, right? So where we're going to be looking into the first aspects of the solar installation, which we're going to be considering the solar panel itself, right? So yeah, that's going to be a very a wonderful time, and yeah, yeah. So no question before we round off. No question. Are we following? I hope we're still following. Or are people asleep? Okay. Um. All right. Okay. All right. So if there's no question, um, then we'll put it a close already. So next week we're going to have another safety session where it's going to be breaking down properly um, everything that he has just said. So today is just to give you an overview of what safety is like, and just to give us a wide coverage of everything. So next week is going to be a breakdown into how that can apply to what we're trying to do. All right. So if there are no any questions, we just bring the training to a close tonight, and then I'll see you tomorrow again by God's grace. All right. I do hope you have a wonderful night and take care of yourself. We'll meet again tomorrow. Bye for now.